Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday evening training call. We are just going to share a quick animation explaining Gift of Legacy. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the next few moments. It's about 6 minutes long. Sorry. Just trying to get this to share. Give me 1 moment.
There's no sound, Adele.
Yes, I understand that. I don't know why it's not sharing my sound. I'm going to try once more.
Feel like you're spending your days just
following that same routine every day just to make ends meet? Did you know that there is a worldwide community that would love to color your world? You only join this community by special invitation, just like this one that has been sent to you by someone who truly cares about you. So take a step out of your comfort zone and find out more about a community that offers you the ride of your life. This colorful community upholds the principles of Ubuntu, a phrase used in Africa that means community cooperation and allows everyone to thrive and not just survive. This gifting community is like a theme park. There are 6 main attractions in this theme park. They are the coal train ride, 4 different size Ferris wheels, and the Ohana shuttles. Participating in this gifting community will start your journey to the riding of the boards of abundance. Your participation and willingness to follow the guidelines determines the experience that you will have as you ride these boards. When you join Gift of Legacy, you have a choice of where you wish to start your journey. You can join the coal board, which is like the theme park train. This board was recently created to make GL affordable for everyone. Coal was designed to be a starter board and gets you going. The gift you will send to join on Coal is only $25, and that is your ticket to board the train. You can also choose to join on the bronze board with a $100 gift, which is your ticket. Bronze is the first of the 4 main boards or 4 Ferris wheels. The goal of Gift of Legacy is for everyone to be on the perpetual cycle of all 6 boards. The Ferris wheels signify the perpetual journey that you are able to ride on your journey to abundance again and again. The boards are structured so that 8 gifters enter and send an unconditional, non-returnable gift to the legend on the board. When the legend has received their first 4 gifts, they can already purchase their next ticket for the Ferris wheel ride or board, which is the silver $400 board. When all 8 gifts have been received on bronze, that ride ends and the guides become legends on their own boards. The process continues through all the rides on the $100, $400, $1,600 and ultimately the $5,000 boards. The legend is able to enjoy their gifts, 3 that they can enjoy and spend on whatever their hearts desire. Gifters are placed on the boards by the builders that invite with their links, and on perpetual boards by the automated GL system. This system is maintained by Gracious Givers Movement, fondly known as GGM. This non-profit organization is overseen by the custodians, the people who created and developed GL. GGM relies 100% on donations, as no one in GL contributes a monthly fee. The community is encouraged to support GGM to ensure that all the rides are well maintained and improvements are made periodically to improve the user experience. As boards close, gifters become builders. This is the ideal opportunity to invite two friends to journey with you on the rides of abundance. Everyone in this theme park requires two friends to share their fun and excitement with. Invite two like-minded people who share your interest in coloring the world. Soon, you will be a guide and can assist your friends to add more people to your group or community. When everyone invites two by two by two by two, the boards move constantly and everyone gets to enjoy the thrill of the rides. When a legend finishes a board or ride, they can join the next Ferris wheel in the park on their first round of rides. But they must also join the perpetual cycle of the board that they have just finished. This is how we ride the boards of abundance. The Ohana board is a new addition to the GL theme park. The Ohana shuttles move around the theme park and can even reach out into the wider community. The ticket is $50 and is preferred in USDT. The Ohana board is 100% blended. This means that nobody follows their inviter. People from across the worldwide GL community can ride the Ohana shuttles together. The legend receives 7 gifts on this ride, and this is because there is always an Ohana position already confirmed on the board. The Ohana positions will receive gifts when they are legend, which will be used by GGM for the daily running costs and maintenance of the GL system. Ohana legends will also benefit the Love Heart movement. This movement is managed by GGM and assists those who need it most. The Ohana shuttles are a continuous ride where users are automatically joined to the perpetual cycle. Ohana means family, and this board ensures that nobody gets left behind. As gifts are sent and received by people across the world, and as users join the coal train, ride the Ferris wheels, or meet friends on the Ohana shuttles, we are indeed coloring the world. The worldwide community are all blessed by gifts that are sent peer to peer, heart to heart. But something magical happens in the theme park that has nothing to do with the value of gifts. Friendships are formed as strangers become friends. Kindness and compassion are evident as people support one another to overcome fears or to take on new challenges. We learn and grow as a community as we explore and experience the gift of legacy together.
Namaste to everybody celebrating Diwali tonight across the world. We send you our good wishes. Gift of Legacy is a worldwide community, and I love to embrace the people in our worldwide community. Even tonight in our presentation team, we have got different people from different cultures, from different places in the world. So firstly, to Beverly in Panama City. How are you, Bev? How are you doing on this beautiful day for you? It's still afternoon there.
Yes, it's 1 o'clock here in Panama. We have been having a lot of rain, but we need it because without the rain, what will we have? But I'm so glad that I'm here because this is where I come twice a week to learn. And I thank you, Adele, for the invitation to come and learn.
Thanks, Bev. Lovely to have you here. And then we have Ike from Johannesburg. Ike, how are you this evening? You need to unmute, Ike.
Yeah, thanks, Adele. Sorry, I had to unmute. Yeah, looking forward to the training today. Just that animation that you played, it just summarizes what Gift of Legacy is. And I use it a lot to actually share it with other people. Just on point. So it's exciting to actually be in a platform like this, to be surrounded by you two ladies, but also just everyone in Gift of Legacy. Such a pleasure. Thanks, Adele.
Thanks, Ike, and welcome to everybody on the call, and indeed a warm welcome to all of you. I have a suspicion, well, I was told by someone that there might be a visitor or two on the call tonight, and that's why now when we do training calls, we will always play the animation, because we are not going to do a full presentation about Gift of Legacy. You're going to get to know us and a little bit about the nuts and bolts and how things happen in the theme park. But if you are new and you want to know more about Gift of Legacy, speak to the person who invited you tonight. That animation is a brilliant summary of what this whole theme park is. In summary, Gift of Legacy is a gifting activity across the world in nearly all the countries around the world. And that's why we celebrate all the different cultures, all the different people in the world. It is not a business. It is not a platform. Those little words at the end of that animation saying, we are sending and receiving gifts. That's all we're doing. We're sending and receiving gifts. And we do it in the form of monetary gifts. And the best way to send monetary gifts across the world is to use cryptocurrency. We are not trading. We are not a business. We are not a company. We are simply sending gifts. And Gift of Legacy is an automated website that you will join, and the website uses an algorithm that has not changed. It has not changed. There's been a few additions, but the algorithm has not changed. And an algorithm is just a series of codes that a computer has to tell people who needs to gift who. So to all of the visitors who are here tonight, you are very welcome, and please speak to the person who invited you to the call. I am going to leave the chat open during the call so that people can ask questions as we go along. And as we stop, I'll quickly look at the questions and we'll answer. We would like this to be interactive. This is a very important training because we're going to talk about the movement of the boards. People need to understand how these boards move and what it's all about. So I want to go through that with you from the Gift of Legacy Participants Guidelines, a new document that has recently been released that is pretty much up to date with all of the information except for one change that was announced just after the document was released. But it's up to date with all the information that you need to know. And somebody can share the whole link tree with you, and they can share it with you. You can go and look through the information and peruse it. But we would love to have you join our community. What I'm going to do is share from my screen off my phone. I'm working on my tablet and my phone. And I say it every time I do this, but the reason I like to share off of my phone is many of us do Gift of Legacy off of our phones. You know, lots of people, yes, use desktops and laptops, but a lot of us, I'd say the greater majority of the community use their cell phones. So welcome to my cell phone. It's a beautiful photo I took the other day of the lovely summer skies here in Johannesburg. They're beautiful and blue now after some of the rain that we've had. Now you will see there between Chrome and Facebook, just above the telephone, it says React App. Now that's how I go into Gift of Legacy. And I'm just going to point out Gift of Legacy is not an application. It is not something you download from Play Store or iStore. It is a website. You can only join Gift of Legacy with a unique inviter link that somebody will send to you. You will use that link to register, to join up, and then you will have access to the website. But I don't like to go and type in giftoflegacyglobal.com every time I want to go into my website. So I've just saved that URL on my desktop, on my phone, and you can do it on your computer as well. Then you just press on React App and it opens up the website. Now, I didn't log in because I was using it earlier. It is very important in our website that you log out every time you are finished and you've completed whatever you're doing on the website. The reason for that is the system, the Gift of Legacy system, registers when people are logging in. And if you don't log out and log in, the system will not register. And after 60 days of not registering and logging in, your profile can be removed from the Gift of Legacy system. So this is what the landing page looks like, the boards page. You will see that there are 6 boards in Gift of Legacy. In that animation, it was referred to as the theme park, and we use a theme park analogy because a gifting activity is something very different from the world that you know. It's another way of thinking about creating abundance. It's a different way to what people might have experienced before in online platforms, network marketing, MLM, affiliate marketing, anything like that. Gifting activity is very different. And yet, it's not that different, because in Africa and in many cultures, there's always been some kind of a community club, a community way of funding. In Africa, we talk about a stokvel. We talk about a stokvel. It's when people club money together. Every month you put in a certain amount of money, and when it's your birthday month, you get all of the money from that month. And lots of people across the world have shared with us that their communities do things like that. Gift of Legacy is not a stokvel, but it's crowdfunding. It's people working together with the premise of Ubuntu, working together as a community so that we can all thrive. So we've got 6 boards when we open up our website that you can see. You can start your journey on coal or bronze, as we know, and then you move on to silver, gold, and ultimately to platinum. The Ohana board is your choice to join, but we do recommend that everybody joins Ohana, because when you join Ohana, you are helping to keep the lights of the theme park going. You are supporting GGM, the non-profit organization that keeps this theme park going. Even though we don't pay a participation fee or a joining fee to join Gift of Legacy, somebody has to pay the computer servers, the developers, IT specialists. There are daily, weekly, and monthly costs to keep Gift of Legacy going. And Ohana was created for people to participate in, but the added bonus is that we get gifts back that we can keep just by participating. So it's so much better and so much more forward thinking than just a joining fee, because you get to support the system that we look after. Bev, Ike, do you want to say anything at this point?
Well, what I would love to say is I have been with Gift of Legacy since 2022. And it has grown. The community has grown as the time move on, and I am so excited about the Ohana board because I love to help wherever I am. And that gives me the opportunity to receive, but also to give. And it's wonderful when your heart starts feeling that you have met somebody that you would never have met before in a country that you probably will never go or see, but maybe with Gift of Legacy you can. And it is wonderful having all this information at hand. You're in school. To me, it's a school. Thank you, my darling Adele.
It is, and we need to learn. If you were starting a business, you would find out all the ins and outs about it. And yes, this is not a business, but if you're building your legacy here for generations to come, you want to know. And that's why we do these trainings. Anything from your side?
Yeah, just to underscore exactly what Bev says, it gives me a pleasure that we don't pay a monthly fee. We don't pay a joining fee. The Ohana gives all of us an opportunity to make a contribution that this project, this Gift of Legacy is sustained and we can live it for generations to come. So I'm all in Gift of Legacy, and what an honor it is to support Ohana.
Awesome, thanks. So I just want to I'm going to open up a coal board, and on this coal board, you will see that there's a legend in the middle. It's called Ohana. We're going to talk about that just now. Then there are 2 guides, 4 builders, and 8 gifters. But you'll see one of the builders is missing on this board. I'm going to go back and open up the bronze board. On the bronze board, there are 2 builders who are missing. And that is a little bit strange because that's not what we talk about in our presentation. Tonight, we're going to talk about compression and trickle up and what's happening right now in the Gift of Legacy system. And I think those are the only boards that are open on this board. Yes. Okay. So we're going to talk about those boards that have got empty spaces. Let's just go to the Academy, which is the link tree. That's where I went just now to share the animation with you. There are other animations, there's other information on the link tree. But if you click on this guidelines document, there we go. You might hear bangs in the background. People are celebrating Diwali and there are fireworks going off near me, but it shouldn't interrupt us too much. I hope it doesn't. Okay, we're going to go here. And I want to go down to this page. The index is interactive. We're going to go to understanding board placement. I just want to get a big screen. Sometimes it's very cooperative with me, and other times it doesn't. Now, how did I get it the last time? Let me just try that again. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, let's go to understanding board placement. Now, when you click on the index, it takes you right there. So let's look at a bronze board. That is a typical bronze board. On a normal board, you will see the flash in the middle. On an Ohana board, there's a beautiful like flower pattern. That is the bronze board, and you will see that there are numbers. So let's look at the gifters. Let's start on the left-hand side. Gifter number 1 is on the top left, right? That's the top left. If you were on your cell phone, it would be the top right. But for sake of this presentation, we're going to use it in the landscape format. Gifter number 1 is top left, and then the gifters are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4 going down. And then if you look on the other side, on the right-hand side, the gifters are numbered 5, 6, 7, 8 going up the page. So when we talk about gifter 6 and 7, you need to know where they are because some people get confused where they are. The builders are 1 and 2 on the left and 3 and 4 going up on the right-hand side. And the guides are guide number 1 on the left and guide number 2 on the right-hand side. So that you understand who's who on the board. Now, on a coal board, new invitees and everybody existing as a participant in Gift of Legacy who has a 0 balance. So new invitees mean people who are joining with a new link, and GL participants who have a 0 balance. That means they have never completed a full board. When they join coal, they will follow their inviter. So if I am builder number 1 and I invite somebody onto a coal board, they will land first in gifter number 1 and then gifter number 2. But Ike is builder number 4 and he will invite somebody. He also has a 0 balance, and then his invitees will land in positions 7 and 8, in gifter 7 and 8. Beverly can be builder number 2, and when she invites people, they will land in position 3 and 4. And then there might be somebody else who's a builder on our board in position 3. They invite, and their invitees will land in position 5 and 6. That's following your inviter. So you need to see it like little triangles. That builder 1 is connected to gifter 1 and 2. Builder 2 is connected to gifter 3 and 4, and so on the other side. So now on the coal board, new invitees and existing people follow their inviters. Participants in Gift of Legacy who have a balance of $200 or more do not follow their inviter. So if you have already completed a coal board and this is your perpetual cycle, or you've been on another board, bronze, silver, gold, and now you decide to join coal, because we all get one free ride on coal and bronze. If you have completed a board and you have a balance of $200 or more, you do not follow your inviter. Then something called blending applies. Blending means that when you land on a board, you will go to a board where there's no one from your lineage. You sort of know the ropes, you understand what Gift of Legacy is about, and you will go to one of the oldest boards in Gift of Legacy on coal, and you will meet with other people in the community. It's a great opportunity to educate them. You will ride through the board with them. When you leave the board as legend, obviously on your bronze, you are following your lineage, but on coal, on the perpetual cycle, you will always be in a blended board, meeting with people from around the community. Bev?
Well, when I started to understand how to read the boards, I was fascinated, truly fascinated, because it is a system that has been placed for order to always be there. Like gifter number 1 cannot go over to gift on position 6.
No.
Because it does not work that way. When you see guidelines in anything, it is a system that carries order. And that is very, very wonderful for any community in this world. Thanks, Adele.
Thanks, Bev. Ike, anything on the coal board?
No, nothing else. You both ladies have kept it so well. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you. The Ohana board is 100% blended. There's no lineages on Ohana. Gifter number 1 is always a confirmed Ohana position, and the legend is automatically joined to the perpetual cycle by the GL system. So on an Ohana board, gifter number 1 will always be an Ohana position. When that position gets to legend and receives gifts, those gifts go to GGM to keep Gift of Legacy going. And when any other person on the board gets to legend, obviously they receive the gifts. They will only receive 7, not 8 gifts, but they get to keep $300 of the $350 that they receive. We did a lovely training, Ike and I, on Tuesday evening. Please go watch the recording, because Ohana is a very exciting board. Now, on the boards from bronze to platinum, invitees follow the inviter. So bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, you follow your inviter. If the invitee cannot follow the inviter, they will join a board and follow somebody in the same lineage. Now, lineage means family, team, or group. And then on their next cycle on this board, when they're on their perpetual or on the next time they ride that board, they will follow their inviter. So some people say, but why won't I follow my inviter? Your inviter might be in the builder position, and gifter number 1, 2, 3, and 4 are filled up, but they are unconfirmed. Now you want to join that board. You cannot join the board because there is no space for you. Like Bev said, it's not going to pop you. The algorithm is not going to pop you on the other hemisphere. So if you cannot follow your inviter, the system puts you in a position where you follow your inviter's inviter or their inviter. So you might land on a board and say, I don't know these people. Check who their inviter is. You might be able to see, you might not always understand it though, that it is somebody in your lineage. But it can go, listen to this, 100 levels deep. So you might land on somebody further up in the lineage, and of course you won't know that person. The algorithm is correct. The algorithm places you where you need to be placed. Anybody want to comment?
Nothing from my
It
side.
brings back, Adele, it brings back to what I have said. A community has got to have guidelines so that it will work, linking and blending and being what we need to have done so that it's a moving train. That's
Yep.
all it is, a moving train. And you will find in box number 4, the person who brought in the person who invited you, which is good. It comes to a wonderful sense in my heart as I see it, as I watch this presentation with you, and congratulate you for doing this wonderful job, that when you come to a community, you have to open your mind and your heart. That's all it is.
Absolutely. So let's look at what that said down there. It said, what happens if the legend invites? If you are the legend and it's empty and there are 8 empty gifters and you invite your invite link, your first invitee will land in gifter number 1. Remember, in invite link is unique. One person can use an invite link and it lasts 48 hours. If they don't register in that time, you need to create a new one. So if a legend shares their invite link 8 times, the invitees will fill up in this order: gifter 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8. The legend is the only one that can put people on both sides of the board. So what is currently happening on the boards where we've got empty spaces before compression happens, if you've got people who really want to join your team and form a strong lineage, you can go onto a board as a legend and invite them in, and you will have all 8 gifters, your people. Just saying. Waiting for compression is a blessing in a way because it allows you to structure a board exactly the way you want it to be. Exactly the way you want it to be. Now, if a guide invites, if guide number 1 invites, the gifters fill up from gifter 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. And if a guide 2 invites, it fills up 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes sense, right? So if guide 1 invites, their invitees will follow and fill up gifter 1, 2, 3, 4. But guide 1 cannot have any of their invitees landing on the other side. So if they've got 6 friends and they share 6 invite links, 4 of them will land on the one hemisphere, and then the others are going to go to another board following the inviter's inviter.
That's right. Yeah.
And if guide number 2 invites, it's going to fill up 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if builder invites, if builder 1 invites, it can only fill up gifter 1 and 2. I'm going to see if I can do this. I've never tried this. Ha, I've got a pen. Yes. So if builder invites, those are the only 2 that it can invite. Builder 2 can only invite those. Builder 3 can only invite into those places, and builder 4 can only invite into those places.
That is
Can
a 2
only,
by 2 by 2 by 2.
it's 2 by 2 by 2, because the 2 guides should be the legend's 2 invitees. And guide number 1's 2 invitees should be that one and that one. And guide number 2's invitees should be 3 and 4. The system was created to work in the way that everybody invites 2 people. That's the only requirement when you join Gift of Legacy, to invite 2 people. Oh, I'm so excited I've learned this trick now. So that makes sense, right? You all understand that.
So just
Okay.
there, Adele,
Beg your pardon?
just there, what happens if a person is invited 3 instead of 2?
Which person? Name the person.
Okay. Builder number 1 is invited 3 people.
Builder number 1 has invited 3 people. Gifter number 1 will go there. And gifter number 2 will go there.
Mhm.
And then gifter number 3 will, I'm not, I need to double check this. No, gifter number, if builder 1 invites a 3rd person, it won't come here. It won't go there because that is builder 2's place.
So I understood it.
Then number 3 is an extra and is going to land on the inviters board.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Do we understand that? Let me just see if there's any questions in the chat. I'm having to multitask. Here, Joey says, I'm so very grateful that GL are not taking nonsense anymore with people that are just in it for themselves. Glad people were removed that were not even logging into their accounts. We don't say accounts, we say profiles, but I know what you mean. The deadwood was causing the spark to die. Now we can fire up again. Absolutely. And Cecilia says, order and fairness. Thanks, GL. The algorithm is perfect. The algorithm is perfect. The problem is the people. In support, we talk about picnic. Problem in chair, not in computer.
Adele, can I say something quickly?
Absolutely, Joey. Hi.
Hi. Okay, I've had this just to get to your last question that I asked. I had one person that was a builder that now 2 days ago that brought in 3 people. They actually do fall on gifted number 3 also.
Oh, do they fill in 3 and 4? Okay, all right.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3, whatever.
So then maybe it hasn't changed. Okay, so if builder 1 invites, they can fill up 3 and 4. Okay. But then it messes up with people's lineages. But that's
Yeah,
fine.
it does. But the plus point is the whole my whole team is on that whole board, so it didn't actually it wasn't a big issue.
Okay, so I correct myself then. If a builder 1 or builder 2 shares 3 or 4 links and those spaces are available, it will fill up. Thanks, Joey. Thanks for correcting me. Okay, so that's what happens when the builders invite. This is now more on board placement. Gifters 1, 2, 3, and 4 invite. The gifter, here it is. Gifter 1, 2, 3, and 4 invite. The gifter will land on the open gifter space on the same hemisphere. So if anybody on the left-hand side is a gifter, and gifters can invite people, if they invite, it will fill up 1, 2, 3, and 4 in order. And if gifters on the right invite, it will fill up 5, 6, 7, 8 in that order. So yes, that's actually the answer. Thanks, Joey. So if you invite more, you can fill up, but in the order 1, 2, 3, 4, but it won't spill over to the other hemisphere. Okay, we're all clear there. Now let's talk about trickle up. Trickle up is a weird term, and I had to get my mind around it. And when I made that graphic, that's a colorful water splash going up. It's water going up. It's a weird thought, something trickling up, because we think of things trickling down. So anybody in Gift of Legacy can remove themselves from the system by pressing quit, and you can also be auto removed by the system. Okay, if you press quit or you have been marked by the system to be auto removed, you get a red block around your username. You can reactivate yourself, or the legend can reactivate you within 7 days. If you don't reactivate yourself, the system will remove you from the board. Trickle Up only applies to legends when there is an empty legend space and there are no gifters on the board. This is something new after the last updates. Legends never used to be allowed to have a guide trickling up, okay? So Trickle Up now only applies to legends when there is an empty legend space and there are no gifters on the board. If there are gifters, the legend space will be filled by a GGM legend who acts as curator of the board. So let's go back to this board. Now I can draw, which makes me very happy. Okay. If this legend goes, they're removed. Then guide number two on the right-hand side can trickle up and fill that position on this board because there are no gifters. But if, let's do yellow, if there was a gifter over here and maybe a gifter over there and the legend moved away, the guide would not trickle up, then GGM would come into the legend position. Why? Well, it makes sense. If a guide is going to trickle up into legend position, they need to be able to receive all 8 gifts because they need to hold back some to join the next board and the perpetual cycle and to keep. Now, if they join the board as a legend now and there were already 2 gifters, they would lose out on 2 gifts. How are they going to progress and receive what is due to them if they only receive 6 gifts? So it's very fair. Guide number 2 will trickle up into legend position if there are no gifters. But if there are gifters, GGM will come in and stand as curator. That just means GGM holds that space, receives the other 6 gifts, and then the board can move. Is it fair? Absolutely, it's fair. Because GGM is keeping the gift of legacy system going. So I think it's pretty fair. Ike, Bev?
It is fair. Just one question. We spoke about the guide 2. What happens if guide 1 that actually has an opportunity to move to a legend, or it's never guide 1? Is it always 2?
Guide 1 can never move up. Guide 1 cannot move up. And the reason that this was decided, let me just clear all of this. I'll change the color. The reason that it was now decided that guide 2 can trickle up into legend is that the left-hand hemisphere has always had the advantage. It fills up first, gifter 1, 2, 3, 4 position. It's always been the left-hand hemisphere had a bit of an advantage. So now to make things fair, the custodians decided when trickle up could apply to guides, that they would allow guide 2 to trickle up. So if the legend is removed here, and there is a guide there, but there is no guide there, and there's a builder here, that builder will trickle up into guide and pop into the legend position. Because this is the flow from gifter to builder to guide to legend.
Makes sense. In a case where there's no guide 1, what happens on the left-hand side? Does the builder?
If there's no guide 1, then builder number 1 trickles up there. I'm going to show that to you in the next slide. And if there is no builder number 1, the person who comes in as gifter number 1 gets confirmed. They trickle up there, they go there. Boom. Or gifter number 2. That's how it works. Okay, let's
Thanks.
show you the trickle up sequence. Gifter 1 and 2, trickle up to builder 1. Okay? Gifter 1 and 2 can only go to builder 1 and then to guide. Gifter 1 and 2 cannot trickle up. Gifter 1 and 2 cannot trickle up into builder number 2 position. That's not allowed. Let me show you here. So these two can only go there. These two can only go there. We cannot have this gifter, if this space is empty, this gifter cannot trickle up here. It's not allowed because it's not in that little triangle. You can only trickle up in your triangle. Does that make sense to everybody?
Does make sense, thanks.
Okay. So that's how the gifters trickle up. Builders trickle up to guides, and now guide 2 trickles up if there's no legends. Everybody happy with trickle up?
Makes a lot of sense. And you see it once you did what you did. I saw it and I understood it. The reason why. They just cannot go across each other because they are on a specific line.
Yep.
And that
To
line means 1 bring 2, 2 bring 2, and it makes you. I saw it perfectly well when you put the colors on it where we're supposed to go. And Adele, thank you.
Thanks. So let me share here now. I just want to share posters. So let's talk about compression, because everybody's talking about compression at the moment. I don't know how to make this bigger. There we go. What is compression? Compression is my mind, because I'm a therapist and I work with children and I work with puzzles all day. Compression is putting puzzle pieces together. That's what compression is about. And it's about getting teams together. So that's why there's a puzzle in a heart. Some communities talk of compression like that game Tetris, with the little pieces falling down. You know, you all played on your phone with the pieces falling down. So what is compression? Compression is an automatic process that realigns boards according to the algorithmic code. So now if my gifter, or not my gifter, if my invitee could not join a board where I was and they went to my inviters board, guess what's going to happen in compression? If I've got space behind me, they're going to follow me to align teams according to the code, to get people to follow their inviter. That is the whole point of compression. Empty spaces on boards happen when users quit or they are auto-removed. And we've just seen a huge removal of people who haven't logged in. And now the custodians have said, we're not carrying Deadwood anymore. People who haven't logged in for 60 days will be removed from the system. The purpose of compression is to get groups of people that belong together realigned on boards. Because people do get separated because of not being able to follow their inviter, or for whatever reason. If you are removed 3 times from a board because you asked to be removed, you get placed on the oldest board in Gift of Legacy, and then you're on a different board to your inviter. But when compression comes, everybody gets realigned, brings teams together, because teams working together create movement. And there's one more, I think there's one more sentence there. I'm just trying to see. I can't see what the last sentence is. Oh, it says empty spaces are filled where possible. Empty spaces are filled where possible. So teams are realigned. And then if you've got one hemisphere on one board that's full, but it's the other hemisphere is empty, the system will try and find an empty left board with an empty right board and bring them together as much as possible. Does that make sense?
So it means that it will actually not be moved on one board from one side to the other side.
If you happen to be on maybe your perpetual cycle because of the Ohana principle, you might end up going to the other hemisphere to follow your inviter. There are so many nuances in the algorithmic code, and people think the code is just simple, follow your inviter. It's not. It's got levels deep, and it's like the Ohana principle, and if people were removed, all of the guidelines come into play. They are all part of the code. So the system, the algorithm goes, okay, if this person did this, then what happens then? But the idea of compression is to get teams aligned and to fill gaps. Let's look at this poster. Maybe it makes it more clearer. Compression, there's the puzzle pieces, but there's Tetris, also in our heart. Putting people together, connecting hearts. That's how I see compression in my brain, and I make the posters, so you get to see my brain on the posters. Sorry. Okay, rule number 1 for compression. A user is placed following their inviter or as close to their inviter as possible. It may be the same board, but it could be the opposite hemisphere. It could be. It could be the opposite hemisphere. In some cases, not in all cases, in most cases, it's the same hemisphere. If the inviter can't be followed, the system places the user on another board with a user that is also linked to the original invite link of their group of people. You may not know the person, but they are connected to your group somewhere. So if I can't follow my inviter, and I can't follow my inviter's inviter, the system traces our lineage to the very beginning when the migrators started. When Gift of Legacy launched on the 10th of January, 2022, there were 4,740 people who had migrated from a previous system, and they were placed in the Gift of Legacy system on boards, and their lineages that had followed with them weren't allocated to them. Everybody was randomly given to people who were following them. So everybody is kind of connected, and the original profile in Gift of Legacy is Angel 1. And then it's Atlas 86, and then there's a whole bunch of angels. So if you can't follow your inviter, eventually you might land on a board with an angel, Angel 9.4, because that is the top of your lineage. So people often say, but what happens if my whole team didn't log in and they've all been removed and I'm left alone? You will follow an angel. You will follow somebody. You might not know them, but they are connected to your original team. It's like when you're pruning a rose bush. You don't know which twig to cut, but eventually, once you've pruned it, you see the beautiful stick, and it's not so distorted and full of thorns. You've got a beautiful stick. Compression connects people that belong together. Follow your inviter. Only guides, builders, and confirmed gifters are eligible for compression. So if a legend is a legend on their own board, they don't get compressed. People come and fill their boards if it's possible. But it might be not possible because there might not be enough people to come and fill boards. And after compression, it happened to Candace. It happened to a custodian after our last compression. She was left on a board on her own as the legend. Absolute nightmare or a blessing? I see it as a blessing. And I'll show you now why. I'm going to show you. Guides and builders can sometimes be shuffled around, and you can be in different positions. I would rather be a builder on a board that's going to move than a guide on a board that's not going to move. Just saying. It might not happen this time because last time people didn't like it, that they were shuffled into different positions. But if I'm going to be with my team and I'm going to be with people who are moving, I would rather be a builder than a guide on a board that's not moving. So let me show you one of my boards. We've got 9 o'clock, so we're still doing okay for time. So I am currently a legend on a board with nobody around me. I really am. And I'm waiting for compression so that I can see what's going to happen. But after compression, I'm going to, can I get in there? Let me just get in there. It's hard on my phone. There we go. So on my bronze board, there's me all by myself. There I am, sitting all by myself. My invitees and other people who are on my board, gone. Everybody's gone. Now, what happens if after compression, I'm still left like that? I mean, they're going to try. We were told this is going to be a massive compression, right? I'm really hoping that I don't get left by myself. But if I do, just look at what we've learned now. It's not an altogether bad idea. Because then I'm going to invite Ike and Bev. And how can I get rid of this thing? I'm going to invite my friend S, and I'm going to invite my friend B. And then I'm going to confirm them. And when I confirm them, this one is going to be confirmed first, is going to move up there, and will be sitting in guide. And when I confirm this one, they will trickle up and go there. And when I confirm this one, they will go there. So then I will only be sitting with that gifter, but these 3 here are going to be empty. Okay, these 3 are going to be empty. I can still invite people from my team, or they can invite people. Do you see how we are creating a lineage? And I can invite people in who maybe can't afford to join Gift of Legacy because I'm not losing any gifts. If I confirm these 3 gifters and they trickle up, and I do it as a pay it forward because I was blessed in when I joined Gift of Legacy, they trickle up. I'm still going to have 3 empty gifter spots. I'm still going to get 3 gifts. But if they gift me, I'm going to get 7 gifts out of that left hemisphere. Imagine that, 7 gifts on one hemisphere. And then I can go and do exactly the same on the other side. So if you're left with a board like this, you can recreate your lineage. You can pull people together who you might have been separated from, especially if you're a migrator. You can pull people together and you can still receive your gifts. But you, on a board like this, have got 6 positions that if you use them very wisely, can set you up with a strong lineage and help people and give hope back and pay it forward. Now, there are challenges in just sponsoring people in because they sometimes think that something for nothing is worth nothing, and then they do nothing. So if you're going to do a strategy, something like this, you must have the right people, and they must understand that they will be needing to invite. They're not just being given something to sit and wait. But what a beautiful opportunity to help somebody, to help people to get going. It's almost like you're sitting there, the king of your own little castle, and you can pick which are going to be your generals and your sergeants and your, you know, the main people in your community. So we mustn't be stressed if after compression we still have gaps, because in Trickle Up will apply, and you can use Trickle Up very smartly to your advantage if you understand what Trickle Up is all about. Ike, I see your cogwheels going there.
Just on that slide, that last slide, you spoke about confirming the 1 and 2 and 3. What about the 4th one? Is there a way that you can confirm what changed?
They can't trickle up. They won't be able to trickle up.
Oh.
Because there's only 3 empty spaces there that they can trickle up.
Oh.
Let's go back to that. If I have got gifter number 1 comes in, confirm them. They're going to move to builder and to guide straight away. Okay?
Right.
This is another way to do it. Then you invite your next friend in. You can either invite them in that they come 4 in a row, or you do 1 at a time. If I did 1 at a time, gifter number 1 would come in, I'd confirm they move up to guide. Then I invite my next friend. They confirm them, I confirm them, they're now set in builder. Okay? But if I invite another person, they're going to come here to gifter number 1. They cannot trickle up because they cannot come. What some people try and do is they invite this way and then they want their 3rd friend to come here. That can't happen.
Okay.
So I would there and there, and then they stay as gifters, and then I would invite a 3rd person here. When they are confirmed, they trickle up there. That's why I prefer to get 1, 2, 3, 4 people. And on this side, I'm going to confirm this one, that they trickle up. Then I confirm this one, they trickle up. I confirm this one, they trickle up. I'm now sitting with 3 empty spaces here, and this one is set over here. So there's 2 different ways of doing it. I don't like doing it this way. I like doing it this way if I had to do it. But each to their own, I suppose. Bev, any comments?
Just that as you are teaching now, there is a strategy that can be learned to teach others behind of how to wisely, with wisdom, go to legend if you work together. But that was not known. That was not known before because it was not taught.
To some of us it was known, but not everybody has understood this, and that's why in the participants guidelines we tried to make it very clear, and that's why I've insisted on doing these trainings, because it's fun to do trainings on all sorts of, you know, self-development and whatever, but if people don't understand the actual system, what's the point?
That is my point to you of congratulations, because I understood it a lot better. I've always just wanted to put people in gifters, get them in gifters, get them moving, but there is a way to get it moving correctly. That's where it was falling short. And I hope people look at this over and over and over again so that they can see what you have shown, where to go and find the best way to get people to legend.
Let me show you another board. I thought if I showed some real boards, because this is a board, one of my boards. now before compression, but it might not change after compression. Come on. It might not change after compression. I think it's the bronze board. No. So you mustn't think you're the only ones that have got hectic boards. I think it could be coal. Yeah. This board might not change after compression. The system might not be able to find a builder to put on that one space and builders to put on the other side. Compression is not going to put gifters on your board. You're not going to get unconfirmed gifters on your board, okay? It doesn't work like that. It's only builders' guides that are going to be moved around. The legend's not going to be moved around. So now, if this is my board after compression, oh, I'm so glad I've got this tool now. If this is my board after compression and I'm the legend, which I am, okay, I'm the legend. If I invite gifter number 1, confirm them, they're going to stay there. I invite gifter number 2, they're going to stay there. Then I invite gifter number 3 and I confirm them, they will trickle up to builder. Then I invite another person there and another person there. Look how strong I've made my team here. That's all going to be my team there. And if nothing can be done on the right-hand side, I'm going to invite, and because I'm legend, gifter 1 will fill up. First, I will confirm they will go to builder. I will invite somebody else and they will come. No, I want to do my way of doing it. So I'll invite, and gifter number 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 will come in. Okay. And then I wait till all 4 of them are in, and then I confirm number 1 so that they can go to builder. And I've done this after the last compression. And then I confirm this one, they're going to trickle up there. So now I've got 2 empty spaces there that I can still put my people. Now all of this is my team. How strong is that lineage?
Very strong, and it makes a lot of builders' sense of legacy. That is a good strategy to teach people to do to make it work. Because this is where we fall short with the boards not having the strength to keep moving. Because there has got to be guidelines and strategies for everything for a system to work.
Sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to get out of this one. How do I go back? Let me just log out. I just want to go to one board. Well, I'm not going to even go there. But some people have complained and asked, why are there Ohana legends in legend position on bronze, silver, gold, and platinum boards now after the update? Remember what we said? What happens? That if there are gifters on boards and there's an empty legend, then a GGM position is put in as a curator, a custodian. Because Ohana was the last development that happened in the system, when the developer programmed it that a GGM position would go to legend, it put Ohana there. Ohana and GGM are the same. Ohana positions give gifts and money to GGM. Yes, it technically should say GGM, but just because it's an Ohana legend, they're only holding space there to receive 3 or 4 or 5 gifts to close the board so that the next guides can get their full 8 gifts. So please don't stress if there is an Ohana legend on a non-Ohana board, they're just holding space. And yeah, maybe it should have said GGM, but we all know that Ohana and GGM is one and the same. It's just holding space so that the guides, when they can go into Legend, get their full 8 gifts. Any comments? Questions?
My one comment at the moment is this. The training that is now being given to the platform of Gift of Legacy should be taken very serious so that there could be much less complaining, much less misunderstanding, because it is a system that is now being built to show how the community is supposed to work. And everything happens at the right time. It took Ohana to happen the way it happened for us to be doing what we're doing now, which is also teaching me, Ike, and anybody else who is interested in keeping their lives and their legacy in a community of like-minded people. Those who were taken out, they're not like-minded. They're not here. There's only 12 people on the call. And when you start understanding, you become understood also. Thank you very much, Adele, for your time, energy, and your wisdom.
Thanks, Bev. Ike? Ike, are you with us? I just want to see if we've lost Ike. We might have lost Ike. We have lost Ike. So I just want to close off, unless anybody wants to say something. I just want to close off and say, Gift of Legacy was created 3 years ago during this time. We launched on the 10th of January, 2022. And I say we because I was part of that right from the beginning, part of the support team, part of the migration setup and everything. The Gift of Legacy system has never crashed. It's never crashed in 3 years. Gift of Legacy was started and was launched when it wasn't yet ready. It has been said, it's a known fact. The system wasn't the way it was meant to be when it launched. There have been developments, improvements, changes, but the algorithmic code has not changed. The algorithmic code has not changed. And I think it's incredible that changes and developments are made to ensure the sustainability and the security and the longevity of the system. We might not like them. We might think they're unfair. We might get frustrated. We might not see the movement we want to see. And sometimes a comment will be made and we get told a few days, but then something happens to the system. Like currently at the moment, there's an issue where people are inviting and they're not landing following the inviter. They're going to random boards. And the developer is checking that out. So how can you run compression when that kind of an issue is being resolved? I'm not saying I don't get frustrated. I'm not saying I don't want things to happen fast. I could do with the money. But how many systems, platforms, things have you tried and you've lost money and they've fallen apart and people have just disappeared? You've been given no feedback. You didn't know, it just stopped. Just stopped. You had a website, you had an app, and it just stopped. Hasn't happened with Gift of Legacy. And we might not get the feedback as often and as frequently as we want, but I can tell you that things are happening in the background. And this system is going to allow us, you, me, and everybody, and everyone who watches this recording, and please share this recording with your friends, because for people to understand Trickle Up, board placement and compression is so important right now. Because as soon as that's all happened, we've got to use what we have on our boards very cleverly, very wisely, to build our teams, to build our lineages, to create our legacy. So yes, we have a lot to be grateful for. And when you are grateful and you go in the mindset of being grateful instead of being complaining, you can see what a blessing gift of legacy is. Bev, I think that's the end of our Zoom. There's no questions. No one wants to say anything.
Well, Adele, there's always been my mindset of recognizing from I saw Gift of Legacy that it is the best thing that has come into my life to recognize that there is really a lot of good in the world. Some people who are not that good want to step in that line, but you can only get to a certain distance unless you start changing the way you look and let go of the complaining, let go of being greedy. When am I going to get? When am I going to get? And start seeing that it is coming, because we have got to let it work. That is our thing. We have got to let things work the way it is supposed to work. And now that we can be learning with the new guideline, because it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of art, no one can start saying, no one told me. Oh, tell them where to go. Go to the participants guideline. Everything is explained there, and there are videos for training, understanding, to feel your heart skip a beat. Because my heart skipped a beat when you showed me that last part, because that was a truth that I did not know. And I thank you so much, my darling Adele. You are truly awesome.
Thanks, Bev. There's only two other people with cameras on. Doris, Queenie, do you want to say anything before we go? Doris?
Yeah. Hi, good morning.
Hello.
Good night. Hi, Heather. It's really a blessing to have a Gift of Legacy in our life, because Gift of Legacy is helping a lot of families. For example, in South America, they don't have a lot of money. They can enter to join the Gift of Legacy with $25. So for me, it's really a blessing to have a Gift of Legacy, because we are in 180 countries. It's really amazing especially in South America, in Venezuela, in Ecuador, in Colombia. They are going to help a lot of people because they don't have enough money. This is an extra money to help to people with children, with families that don't have, for example, too much job. Especially now in Spain, there is no established work. For example, you work 6 months, you work 1 year, you said bye-bye. Of course, the company pay you for 1 year, but then you don't have a job.
Yeah.
So for me, this is amazing, this platform of the Gift of Legacy, because helped me a lot. I study business management at the university. Today is Halloween here in England, so they celebrate. I don't have a class. So this is the reason. So I study, I make money with this project. So I receive awards. It's amazing because sometimes you are sleeping and you receive one message. How do you want to receive your $100? Yeah,
Wonderful.
so it's fantastic. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Adele, for you. Okay.
Thank you, Doris. Queenie, you want to say anything? No. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. And yeah, go watch this and make sure that you understand and teach your teams about it. So thank you for your time, Bev. Thanks. Ike, thanks. I know you had to go. And until we meet again, good night. God bless and goodbye.
Blessings, blessings.